Now at 11, will Oregon see a statewide stay-home order? Elected officials pushing for Governor Brown to make a clear call. Thousands of stolen medical masks recovered. A man is behind bars, and those critical supplies are now being handed over to those who need them most. Plus, wondering what you're going to do to keep the kids entertained while they're at home with you? We'll share some resources you can use this week.
This is KGW News at 11.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Brittany Folgers. Tonight, leaders in Oregon are looking to Salem for help. They want the governor to issue a clear stay-at-home, stay-safe executive order. It's something that was discussed by mayors and elected officials on a conference call with the governor just this afternoon. But as KGW's Art Edwards found out, it isn't clear to leaders if or when the governor may act.
3 metro area counties joined the call for a statewide stay-at-home order from Governor Kate Brown. The leaders of Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas counties sent a letter to the governor on Sunday with their request. It comes on the heels of a similar request from the Metropolitan Mayors Consortium. That's a group of 25 mayors in the metro area. On Twitter, Governor Brown wrote, "On Friday night, I asked all Oregonians on the eve of spring break to stay home and stay healthy. Unfortunately, our trails and beaches were packed this weekend. I want to be absolutely clear. You're endangering all Oregonians when not following social distancing orders." Mayors took part in a conference call Sunday afternoon with the governor. They are still waiting to see if Governor Brown will issue a stay-at-home order. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler also took to social media. On Twitter, he said, "We cannot delay any longer." He went on to say, "If the governor won't act, I'm ready to act for Portland tomorrow." On the coast, Warrenton and Seaside both declared a state of emergency. On Sunday evening, Seaside ordered hotels to shut down and will limit building access throughout the city. Clatsop County ordered campgrounds, vacation rentals, and hotels closed to most visitors. Coastal towns are asking visitors to stay home to stop the spread of COVID-19.
COVID-19 pandemic is not just an opportunity for a traveling vacation. It's a threat to our very lives.
Now Oregon's local leaders are waiting for the governor to act. Many say if she doesn't, they will. Art Edwards, KGW News.
Now, Governor Brown has issued an executive order temporarily halting residential evictions. With businesses closing, many people have lost their jobs and their source of income to pay rent. The order is effective for 90 days. The move could hurt landlords and property owners if their tenants can't pay. So the governor says she's looking to find potential solutions and exploring different state and federal policy options to provide assistance. Just today, the Oregon Liquor Control Commission adopted temporary rules amid the coronavirus outbreak. Commissioners voted to allow curbside pickup from liquor stores and distilleries. Marijuana dispensaries were also cleared for customers to pick up curbside. The changes were made so businesses could stay open and operate safely while still following Governor Brown's previous executive order that prohibits public gatherings of 25 people or more. Now, all of these measures being taken as we see more cases of COVID-19 in Oregon and across the country. The Oregon Health Authority is reporting more than 160 positive cases. 2 of those newer cases are residents at Regency Park, a long-term care facility in Washington County. And we saw our 5th death today, a man who was a resident of the Oregon Veterans Home in Lebanon. In Washington, there have been nearly 2,000 positive cases and 95 deaths. Nationwide, there are now more than 35,000 cases and more than 470 deaths. Now, the hardest hit states like New York are pleading with the White House to send help, while the White House insists it is helping. NBC's Dan Sheneman has the latest.
The number of confirmed cases keeps growing, while supplies of protective equipment are shrinking.
It does keep me up at night. We are running low, very low.
Governors and mayors appealing for more help from Washington.
I believe the federal government should take over that function of contracting and acquiring all the medical supplies that we need.
The president pushing back.
The federal government has deployed hundreds of tons of supplies from our national stockpile to locations with the greatest need.
While congressional leaders struggle to agree on a massive economic aid package, Senator Rand Paul confirmed he has tested positive. Other senators may have been exposed.
We have five members in self-quarantine. So everybody understands the emergency, particularly when it hits close to home.
The news raising the question about senators being allowed to vote remotely.
I would be totally in favor of it on a temporary basis.
Ohio and Louisiana became the latest states to ask residents to stay at home. About a quarter of all Americans are sheltering in place, but not everyone is staying home.
Those young people that are still out there on the beaches thinking this is a party, time to grow up, time to wake up.
A reminder to take social distancing seriously. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
That economic rescue package being negotiated is now nearly $2 trillion. The Senate hasn't yet to agree on the parameters of the package, voting against advancing the measure to a full vote. Senator Jeff Merkley was one of the Democrats who voted against it. In a statement, he said the Senate GOP proposed a bill that prioritizes taking care of politically connected special interests instead of the people who need help the most. The pressure is rising for both parties to reach a deal. Another procedural vote is set for tomorrow morning. To Europe now. Italy reported another sharp increase in coronavirus deaths today. More than 650 more people have died. There are now new rules imposed on the country's lockdown. Last night, the prime minister came out and said all non-essential industries and businesses nationwide would be shut down for the time being. Spain is also getting hit hard by the virus, seeing more cases each day. Spain has also reported more than 400 deaths in a single day. And as we see the virus spreading around the globe, the International Olympic Committee is raising the possibility of postponing the 2020 Summer Games. Following an emergency meeting today, the IOC announced it will step up so-called scenario planning. The games are scheduled to start in July in Tokyo. Right now, they say cancellation is not on the agenda. A decision of possible postponement is expected in the next 4 weeks. Canada says it won't send any athletes to Tokyo if the Olympics are held this summer. They're asking the games be pushed back 1 year. Thousands of stolen respirator masks are now on their way to local hospitals at the front lines of the coronavirus. The respirators were being stored at the Rebuilding Center in North Portland for Mercy Corps. On March 6th, about 25 cases were taken, each with about 400 masks inside. The Rebuilding Center found someone selling the masks online, so they set up a meeting in Beaverton, and that's when police showed up to make an arrest. Portland police found more of the stolen respirators on Saturday. It turns out the guy police arrested was a customer of the Rebuilding Center.
We didn't have them under lock and key because we didn't think that anybody would necessarily think to steal respirators. But as soon as this crisis began to unfold, it became clear that they were going to become a commodity. We didn't realize what had happened until it had already taken place, unfortunately.
Vladislav Drozdek was booked into the Washington County Jail on charges of theft in the first degree. Portland police say more arrests and charges are possible in this case. The good news here, though, all the recovered respirator masks and more than 30,000 others have been donated to Multnomah County and state officials.